Good afternoon. Today on Business Success in 6 with Stacie, I have Bill Fuchs here from Logical Green Solutions and Ethereal Gold Dispensary. Bill, thanks for jumping on today.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. The first thing I'm going to ask you to do before I even ask 6 questions about your business is tell our viewers what ethereal means.
So ethereal in Ethereal Gold Dispensary means out of this world. So
Awesome.
that's ethereal. Yeah, and we put the gold in there because gold's a valuable product. And dispensary is because we basically have everything from THC free to THCP, which means you can have the same or similar experiences of what you can if you drove over the border to the south, but you're
Okay.
paying half the price, and ours are more thoroughly tested than even what medical is done in Illinois.
Yeah, so before I pressed record, we had a really great conversation. You were educating me a lot about what a COA is. So the first question I actually want to ask you before we get into it, there are different products, gummies out there, and I'm wondering when people ask you what Ethereal Gold Dispensary does, how do you describe it and how is it different?
So we're different several ways. Our number one thing is what we do is we test everything, or have all our products have to be tested to the Ethereal Gold standard that we developed. And from our research, we're the first and only dispensary in the nation that is doing this. We require each and every product, every batch, every SKU number to be thoroughly tested by the manufacturer's independent third-party laboratory. And what a complete full panel COA is a test for solvents, pesticides, microbials, mycotoxins, and other contaminants. What is required by law is only to test for potency. So you don't know if all the things you don't want, it might be in what you get. So if you go to a gas station, another CBD shop, or even now you can go to the pharmacy. I think Menards even has CBD products. You have to be very careful when you're reading the labels and make sure that there is a QR code on it that you should be able to take your smartphone and go right to that certificate of analysis. Otherwise, you may find, for example, there's products at Walmart we saw that were sold as CBD products, and they only had hemp oil in them. And hemp oil is a carrier oil like canola oil or peanut oil.
Mhm.
So it's very interesting. But we want to test for not only for consumer safety, but also for compliance, so that if someone's driving around with our product, we actually have a little certificate that goes with the product in the bag in the sale. For law enforcement and for the post office, that shows that it's a completely compliant product.
It's wonderful. So people know what they're consuming and how it could potentially affect them. So that is very, very wonderful. Congratulations on being first in the nation to do that. Thank you for educating
Thank
us
you.
on that. So what were your plans when you started this business and how have they changed?
So starting this business, so we've always been business to business in construction, real estate, energy saving technology, LED lighting. LED lighting evolved into grow lighting, rolling racking, fertigation for vertical cultivations in the newer states for cannabis and hemp. And we were working with growers and investors in that area, helping them with either their vertical cultivations or even laying out their dispensaries and making sure they're compliant. What happened is, and I'll try to keep this short since I know we have a short period of time. I blew up my shoulder, got oxy, hated it, looked for an alternative. Surgeon said, try Delta 8, did some research, and the Delta 8, I had to sleep sitting up in a couch for 2 months, and I couldn't sleep at all. I was up every hour with pain. Oxy made me ill. I hated it. And the Delta 8, I took my first Delta 8 gummy, and I slept through the night. And you can't heal if you don't sleep. So I personally take gummies 4 or 5 times a week just to help with sleep. And it is tremendously helpful because I'm cranky when I don't sleep. I don't feel good, etc. And that's just one of the benefits. Also, inflammation has been great. I haven't had to take ibuprofen since I started taking any of the CBD products.
That is awesome. So your business really, really has evolved and you're continuing to watch trends and really be the masters at what you are selling. Is that my understanding? Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, we have actually a 7-phase plan to go from hemp to full med rec cannabis once Wisconsin legalizes. Our first was launching etherealgolddispensary.com online on 4/20 in 2022. We opened up our physical dispensary in July, and then our next rollout is we're doing a pilot program on some legal cannabis vending machines.
Wow, very interesting. So what is the biggest way you impact the community?
So we're one of the few that we know of that we actually donate a percentage of our gross sales to the Last Prisoner Project in Colorado. Last Prisoner Project, real quickly, does helps people that are incarcerated with cannabis offenses unjustly and get released and out back into society. There's a lot of people that are the last one they did is, I believe he got pulled over for an eighth of cannabis years ago, and he was in jail for 10 years. Yeah, so it's
Wow.
just ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, that is absolutely wonderful that you donate to that, because with the changing times and everything, people shouldn't be in there for the wrong reasons, right?
And then otherwise, the other thing we do with helping the community is our main thing is education right now. It's just trying to get everybody educated so they realize that the government only requires potency tests for these products, and you really want more than potency tests because you don't want to be taking in pesticides and solvents, heavy metals. Yeah, it's just not a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. We really
And
want
it
to
can
be.
ruin your experience too.
And say that again.
And it can also ruin your experience or even kill you if it's fentanyl. So
Yeah, absolutely. That's it's a scary thought when you think about, you don't know what you're putting in something, and it absolutely you need to have that COA, like you said, if at all possible. So thank you again for doing that for the community. What is one challenge that you have faced that other business owners could learn from?
oh gosh, challenges in business. Um, well, let's see. We could start with just financing is always a challenge. The pandemic was a challenge. The
Yeah.
recession was a challenge. I would say financing, and also, yeah, if you're looking at getting coaching or consulting, I'm in a Vistage group. I know we've talked about a little bit about ActionCOACH in the past. We've worked with ActionCOACH. I would say as an entrepreneur, one of the challenges is you often feel you're out on an island
Mhm.
and you're by yourself because who are you going to talk to about it? You can't talk to your employees about it. You can't really talk to your spouse sometimes about it.
Mhm.
So it's nice to have a group or a coach that you can talk with.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. Yes, I absolutely agree. I've been coached for over a decade now, and it really, really does help. So thanks for that for our viewers as well. So what does the future look like to you? I know you already talked a little bit about it, and do you also have an exit plan?
We actually have multiple. So we have that our strategic plan in place, and there are several places for people to invest and exit.
Mhm.
Um, so personally, my exit plan is I'll probably work another 10 years, to be perfectly honest, which puts me well into it. But using the old action coach thing, I want to be working on the business and not in the business as much, unless I feel like it. So that's a good goal to always had. And then, I don't know that I'll ever 100% retire, but it'd be nice to be down to a couple hours a week would be nice, just making sure everything's heading in the same direction.
Yeah, it's a good plan. All subjects open. What inspires you most?
Family.
Absolutely.
Family's number one, and I'd have to say nature is number two, probably. You're just
Sure. Do you work with any of your family members at all?
well, yeah, we're back to core business. I work with my two sons, Michael and Eric, and my wife is our office manager. She works part-time doing office management and accounting. So
So
that we will be growing later this year and expanding, but at this time, after the pandemic, we're down to the core group.
absolutely. It's happened a lot, but we're glad you're sticking with your business. And if somebody wants to get in touch with you or purchase from you, what would be the best way for them to do so?
Easiest is online at Ethereal, which is Ethereal gold dispensary.com.
Mhm.
And we have availability for shipping to all 50 states. There are certain states that don't allow certain cannabinoids. You cannot order like Delta 8 in a state that prohibits Delta 8.
Okay.
In Wisconsin here, though, we're full. You can order any cannabinoids. You can also order online for pickup in Waukesha, or our dispensary is at 237 Harrison Avenue in Wisconsin, which is the corner of Harrison and Grand.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time today, Bill. Good luck with
Appreciate it.
2023 and keep growing.
Thank you.
Pun intended.
I love the pun, by the way.